Hello, everyone. Hi. I'm so excited to be here today and welcome. My name is Stephanie, Divine Cosmic Empress, and this is your Divine Cosmic Journey. If you're new here, as a shamanic high priestess, I work with the energies. So I channel, I give guidance in terms of my connection to my spirit guides, the energies of what's currently going on with like the cycles of the moon, the stars, plants, crystals, and I do a lot of intuitive energy work. And so thank you so much for coming here today. And I wanted to share a summer solstice message that came through very powerfully. First of all, I want to check in with you before we get started. Um, how are you doing? It just so happens that the summer solstice, June 21st, landed on, of course, always tends to do, around Cancer season. So the energy is very about like tuning inward, like feeling the emotions, especially because summer solstice, the summer equinox, is that time of the year where the king has risen, where the light codes, especially in the northern hemisphere, it is the longest day of the year with the most sunlight. And I saw most recently a lot of messages about the Schumann resonance. So if you've been feeling like all these receiving like so much energy and just like what happens when the physical body is receiving all these downloads is that can become overwhelmed. So it's a really important time to really ground yourself. So it's a perfect thing that we're tuning in today to share and highlight this message. What is like the summer solstice energy? Coming in and wanting to like speak to us about, right? Take this message, whatever resonates, let your spirit guide you, speak to you, open up your intuition, your third eye here today. And um, get yourself into a space before we even get started here. We're going to pull out some incense. I'm going to light for all of us here, just so that we can really set that space and tone. First of all, the major energy that I've been picking up on is the solar plexus. So, the solar plexus is the third chakra, the Manipura, which is at your core, your belly, and it's a yellow light. It is your divine will. It is the connection to your thoughts, your plans, right? Like what the motivator of like what's helping you to really finalize your decisions. So that's really the overall theme that I was getting. What are you being fueled by and motivated by, especially with the next coming months and this really pushing this energy of like transformation, and death and rebirth. Like right now, what do you need to do to prepare, invest in, so that you step into that alignment of your highest self and timeline that you want to experience? And so before we begin, just to tap in here and with the spirit, the assistance of the fire and air elements of water, earth. You can call upon the spirits of the north, the south, and the east, and the west. We anchor ourselves down, visualizing, taking a moment to just release all the energy that we picked up from today down to the earth through our feet. Allow ourselves to just draw a big inhale, letting that belly expand, and the breath come up to your heart and behind the throat. And as you exhale, visualize the breath, just be the breath being released through the heart space. And then visualize on the next inhale, the breath coming up behind the throat, the third eye, crown over the head. And if you can, this is a beautiful practice to maybe draw the arms up overhead. So you're feeling, you're receiving the light, you're receiving the codes. And as you exhale, just visualize all the energy being received down through the arms, down the shoulders, down the spine, down your energy centers, and out through the heart space. And one more breath, allowing that breath to come up from the heart, the throat, third eye, over the head, visualizing a white light, the sun's light codes. And as you exhale, let that breath to come down the spine, the shoulders, the neck, relaxing the energy, the tension in the jaw, then the heart, your solar plexus, belly button, navel, sacral chakra, that orange light, in your root, pelvic floor, the red light down your legs, down your feet, to your toes, to the earth. May we hear what we need to hear. The guidance may it fuel us, inspire us, lead us forward into action. And so, thank you. You can open your eyes now if they're closed. So this beautiful message, it really is the overall theme and the energy is the solar plexus. It's like, okay, what is my next move? Where is my spirit leading me towards? I was getting a lot of like death and rebirth and transformation that's happening. There's a transition that's going forward, and you're being called. It feels like a very fiery Leo like energy, like to step up to the plate, to like collapsing all timelines with and removing all doubt. Like where do you see yourself being, going, becoming? What is that thing? Like, and if you were to just fully commit, what would that look like? And so, what are the major roadblocks recently that are coming up for you? And a couple of things in terms of like roadblocks, we have first that I pulled forward, and it was actually one of the first cards, which is the Three of Cups. And so, this deck in particular, it's the Chakra Wisdom Tarot. It's going to highlight a lot of chakra energy. So the color is going to help you to really realize, okay, like what energy center do I need a little bit more attention towards? So the Three of Cups, we have the solar plexus energy. It is like, all right, so my decisions, if I'm feeling at a crossroads right now, and I'm especially with all this energy coming forward, what is it that I feel that is, blocking me from really seeing clarity, like feeling confident in my next decision. And what really, where is the stagnation? So when you think about the solar plexus, the chakra right before it is the sacral. It is the emotional center. And so if the emotional center, if you're feeling overwhelmed and the emotional center, it is really that space where the emotions have been received, taken in, whether you learned it from somewhere in your experience at some point in your life through childhood or, up to the point where you are now. Or again, maybe it was received, it was inherited from different, timelines. And so that whenever the trigger comes up, whenever you're being presented with a choice in your life, all right, in order to transmute the energy from like whatever it is that you're feeling, whether that's fear, anxiety, doubt, insecurity, how do I transmute that energy so that I can take those, again, decision is through the mind, through the thought form, so I can get out of my way from the thoughts that are causing me to feel the doubt. So what energy do I need to clear up there? So cups also representing emotions. And in this particular card, all right, to work with this like energy center, like if I feel that my choices right now are, I'm feeling confused, I'm not feeling empowered. Why is that? Is that because, and I'm actually going to do a little bit, I'll give you a little bit of Reiki here. So if you feel called to just close your eyes or take a deep breath in and exhale out through the mouth. Am I am I too afraid about that next decision because of how people are going to perceive me as? As you can see, we have these three women and the light. We have more solar plexus light. So we're thinking about like what other people are perceiving us. And like in this particular card, do they see, if I can get a clear shot, sometimes it's hard, but do they seem like they're timid? Do they seem like they're hunched over? They're giving, for all intents and purposes, they're giving any facts about what anybody thinks about them, right? About what their next decision is. So maybe you're in a space where, you know what, I'm so much in my head, and maybe I haven't felt like I'm able to make a decision because I'm thinking too much about how I'm going to look like. But in this particular card here with the solar plexus and the Three of Cups, um, really, you got to come back to what is going to empower you. Like, what do you want to do? When you walk confidently and you're excited and you're in joy, right? Again, that goes back to that second energy center. How do you feel when you're walking, right? How does it feel like for you when you feel good about your decisions, right? Like, because it motivates you. It's out of motivation from your own heart's desire. So this is a card that is kind of telling you in terms of like, okay, if this is something that's resonating with me, okay, how can you celebrate your own way? How can you um, notice those little nudges that really feel like your own personal instincts? How can you follow your own personal instincts? However it is that you choose to, put up your shoes on, the clothes that you want to wear, it's like simple choices that you are making every single day. That practice alone, because you want to, not because what you think someone else is going to think about it, that trickles in to the bigger decisions in your life. And it is pretty hard to make a decision when you are thinking too much about what someone else is going to perceive it as, how they're going to feel about it. But the moment you allow yourself to just really come back to what fuels you, you'll feel that energy of confusion just go away and dissipate. Just go away, right? Melt away, just like that smoke. So the guidance here is be guided by your own instinctual hindsight, right? Your own thoughts, regardless of how it looks. And the next card that we have is all right, the Seven of Cups. You can see in the Seven of Cups where we have the colors indigo. So in particular, with the Seven of Cups, this card represents what it is that you're being motivated by, like what is your role in life in the greater scheme of everything, right? And again, this goes back to elaborating where we are removing the layers of the onion. Okay, why? Like if I know that there's a decision to be made and there's a new transition for me. Like, how do I need to work with the energies so that the energy is cleared up for me, right? For myself. And so this card, you have a woman, she is laying on the floor. It kind of looks like she's just resting. She has 7 cups in front of her. Again, cups is a symbolic representation of emotions. She's feeling overwhelmed, right? And really, emotional overwhelm comes from second guessing yourself. So, if you could take a moment to really dream big and then go bigger. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed with a decision that we have to, make a choice on. And yet, what if you could just allow yourself to visualize the possibility in terms of this one choice, you know, you're not really guaranteed to know like what the outcome is going to be, the results before you even make a move. Um, but which path is it going to help you to either explore another layer of yourself, create more expansion, bring on a new opportunity, and it really allows you to dive into deeper into the unknown. So with the 7 of Cups here, again, we have this energy of structure. When I did this reading, it was based off of the chakras, right? And in the position that the 7 of Cups was pulled from, it related to really the space of, okay, if I'm feeling overwhelmed right now and I cannot fully know the outcome, well, a word was, if the route, if the possibility of one option inspires you, then the journey has already begun. Which one feels more exciting? There's this energy of like foundation. And when it comes to the feeling of overwhelm really is just an illusion. If we look back at the 3 of Cups, which was pulled in the order that I did, it's like, okay, it's just in the level of the mind, as I say, the level of Maya. Like, what is the story that I am attached to right now that's causing me to feel overwhelmed? And a good exercise is, of course, like, how do I calm the mind? How do I calm this feeling of feeling overwhelmed and doubt right now? How do I let go? How do I help the mind detach from that? And that's just breathing, meditating. A really good like support and tip I can give you right now with the Schumann resonance, with the summer solstice and the light codes is okay. Oftentimes meditation, perfect. It is the initial gateway for you to connect to your soul's truth and your intuition. However, when the energy is so like powerful and then like even that on its own, you're not able to transcend those thoughts and emotion and that energy overwhelm, then you seek outside source and support, which you can actually use. And if you can hear it right now, I have some tones. I specifically have some solar plexus crystal bowl playing. If you can get yourself into an environment where the setting and the tone allows you to really to release all that tension, all that you're feeling at a physical level, and then allow yourself to surrender at that state, and then at a deeper level layer of state too, being released, the overwhelming thoughts and the doubt that are plaguing you, you'll be able to ground yourself. And so a good key tip is, okay, if on this journey right now, like emotions and thoughts or something that is, coming up for me that I'm holding on to, and I'm holding on to it tightly because out of the fear of control or the fear of losing control, losing something that I'm holding on to, Now realize that is just what you're holding on to, is an own layer and aspect of yourself. When we receive all these light codes, when we receive the help and assistance from the solitary, the planets, and specific the sun light codes activating your DNA genes within you, your cosmic DNA blueprint, and just that next layer of embodiment expansion for you to step into your soul's path. We are holding on tightly to old identities. And so at the layer of the mind, a layer of these emotions, like what part of you that you view yourself are you holding on to and that you need to let go? So in order that you can receive more. And so the next card that was, placed and that came through was the Four of Coins. In the Four of Coins, we have this green energy. He is holding four coins like tightly in his arms and just like cradling them close to his chest. And he has a very stern look. And behind him, we have these trees, and you can see the light behind him. The way I saw it was that you have this blocked energy behind, in your throat, like a creative expression, something that wants to come through, like a new level, a new layer of yourself. And like God, you're holding on to the, certain things that you can't control. And when it comes to the Four of Coins and the placement where it came through in the reading, it was the heart chakra. So this card comes to help us to bring it back. Like, okay, what do I need to bring back? Every decision and the next decision I'm going to make, what's the importance here? And it's like, what is it that you value? What is it that lights you up? What is it that you're impassioned, about? And how can you show gratitude, first of all, for what you already have? Now, when I ask for more clarity on this card here with the Four of Coins, again, it's a feeling of like you holding on to possessions, like whether it is the decision that you're being called to move towards is asking you to release something in the physical realm, or it's asking you to release and shed a layer of yourself and identity. Like, question for you is like, if you could just allow yourself to let go, knowing that your needs are met. Perhaps the reason why you're not allowing yourself to let go is because, like, who would you blame then if the next step, if the next route on your journey and level of expansion doesn't work out? Who would you blame then, right? And so when I asked for clarity on this card, it was funny because I got the world up here. The world. And here you have just looking at the symbology. Maybe you see it clearer here, perhaps. We'll try. So you see this lady in white, and behind her is a tree. And from what I saw, it was the same tree that you can see behind him. Except that now all the leaves behind her, they've blossomed. And you can see all the colors of the rainbow expansion, things are flourishing. The sky behind her is blue. And at the very top is her light. The energy now is moved towards the crown chakra. So what this means is, all right, as long as you know what it is that you value, whatever it is that you're impassioned about, what that dream and vision that you're holding on to, right? That you really want to receive, right? From the higher perspective, when you look at it from your soul's truth, right? You actually realize, you know what? I don't have to hold on to this method. I don't have to hold on to this perspective and way of doing things anymore around this, because I can be flexible in my approach. I can hold on to the vision, but be flexible in my approach. In the moment, if you were to just let go and trust that all things are coming for you, every single thing is working for you, you'll see that not only do you feel lighter, but you'll see that the energy moves up, right? The energy begins to flow in. The guidance that you seek, everything that you're needing, everything you're wanting, it will be supplied to you. But you can't receive it if you're still holding on tightly to old things that are just no longer in alignment or not in the path of the next level or where you're going. That can be like friends. That was something I was receiving. There's this cycle of like removal. Like friends may come and go, maybe because again, if it'll help you, they were here for a season. They were here for a lesson. If it's a job, a transition that you are, feeling called to let go, you've been told to let go of it. Um, just trust in the fact that, hey, that desire that you have within you, it is spirit led, spirit born, right? Anything else? Okay. So in order to help you, tap into your heart, tap into your why and what lights you up. With this revelation of the fourth, card here, well, in the fourth place, 4 of coins in position of the heart, it helps you to remember, okay, what is important on my path? It comes back to your conviction and remembering to have this consistency, this determination in terms of what are you faithful to. When we looked at the prior card and where that was in the position of the solar plexus of 7 cups, and we had, okay, like, well, I'm in a crossroads mentally because I'm feeling these emotions. Maybe because I'm picking up some energy from somebody else. But like, what is it that makes me feel alive? Like, come back to that. What's important for you? Can you let go of the fear and open yourself up to the adventure that awaits? And if you were to let go of the fear, let go of the tension, let go of the doubt, let go of the insecurity for a moment, what if, like, you just let it go and you had your hands free? What could blossom if you could just be open to the adventure, spirit leading you and guiding you? And if you can reframe your reality, reframe that the emotion that you're feeling, reframe what it is that's coming up in terms of the thoughts. Stop hoarding onto something. If you can take a moment to kind of think about, okay, physically, and then also emotionally, mentally, what thought, what feeling feels constructive? What doesn't feel fun? Like, honestly, when it comes to the heart, it's the portal between heaven and earth, right? It is the portal between spirit and earth plane. And the energy heart center, like, in order to drop into the heart, step away from the logic mind, step away from the place of fear, which is the root chakra, right? Like, how can I let go and bring more ease? And that typically just allows you to, like, I find choices. And I know we're talking about choices here because, the next step, but like at a just personal level, if I were to ask myself a question, does this idea, does this belief, does this emotion empower me? Does it feel good? And if not, just let it go. That lesson alone has come up for me as when I'm, you know, harnessing my skill, my practice, to connect to my intuition, right? And teaching others about like how to feel your intuition, how to like really continue to move in momentum and not be stagnant when spirit's leading you continually, always, and towards your growth expansion. Like, okay, spirit, your higher self, that realm of spirit and realm feels light, feels with like an energy of abundance, feels exciting, feels playful, feels fun. And really, if you were to step into the energy of play and fun, like which, emotion, which decision, like how can I reframe what I'm feeling icky, cringy, and like just continue to ruminate over? How can I, you know, transform that? How can I let it go? How can I make that feel lighter? And if I ask myself the question, if it doesn't feel good, then let it go. Like if I just breathe in and then visualize yourself surrendering that over to your angels. A good practice I found is like I've always remembered, it's like visualize a treasure box, a beautiful treasure box, decorate it however you want to, and then place in it the emotion, place in it the fear, place in it the thoughts, whatever it is that you're experiencing that's been plaguing you. And to tap into your intuition, visualize your angels, like your spirit guide, ascended master, whoever it is you work with, just taking it away. God, taking it away. Let them handle it. And the energetic ethers, and you just be present to receive. Oh, be an open channel. Again, let your heart be opened. So how can you open your heart even more? And so release old identities and do that by opening your heart. This is a heartful journey. Like we're coming back to trusting ourselves. How can we continue to trust what we can't see in the physical? So now, by working through these energies right now and what we're seeing, okay? Once you feel a little bit lighter, the next card that came up was in the position of the third chakra, which is here we have judgment, which in the tarot is the number 20, at least in this deck. And we see an angel. She has wings. She is in a beautiful gown. And she's also blowing a trumpet, right? A very expressive energy here. And again, going back with the color that came through, that is indigo, that is the crown energy. And so once you let go and you feel light and you're able to make the decision, okay, like you're able to see your choices with more clarity, without the shade, without the veil, right? Without the shadows coming up for you. Remember that every decision, and this goes back to the previous card of like, taking inventory and being grateful for what you have, be grateful for your experience. Everything that you've experienced up to this point, looking back, everything you've learned has led you here. And even in those moments when you didn't know like where it was going to lead you, what results you were going to get, what you were going to receive, and experience, who you were going to meet, every single thing has led you to here, this very moment. This is the moment, this is the reality, is the present moment. And so when you can kind of look back in this card and just like, take that deep breath, you feel light, you feel better, right? Your energy is open. Remember, you guided yourself here. Your heart is what led you here to this very present moment, to this opportunity of choice. And that can encourage you to realize, you know what, the next decision, the next level expansion, expression for myself, like it is okay. There's no wrong answer. You can't fuck this up. But as Abraham Hicks says, you can't fuck this up, because the very fact that you're continuing to move forward, the very fact that you haven't let the vision go, the very fact that you haven't given up and you're still breathing and you're still focusing and you keep investing in yourself, that alone shows that you were committed to your path. You're committed to your vision and your soul's purpose, and you're always growing through this layer of, unlayering. You're letting go and releasing all these layers that you have. And that's the funness about the expansion journey here, and the soul's journey and the soul's path. Judgment. Judgment also means discernment. You recognize the times you've wavered in your life as you look back, but remember, and what should be empowering is that you self-corrected yourself. Maybe you got distracted at certain times in your life. Maybe that's why the fear is coming up. Maybe why the insecurity and doubt is coming through. Because sometimes when it is, when it comes to you listening and following your soul's path and soul's truth, we tend to, like, the ego tends to come up and say, like, I'm not really that far ahead as I thought I wanted to be. I thought I was going to be. Maybe I haven't done enough. Or, that's all conditioning and over masculine paradigm and way of like what success means. And, really on the soul's journey, if you remember that you're an eternal being, multi-dimensional being as well, like there is no timeline. The fact that you're here and you're continuing to like invest in yourself and look for the path, look for the guidance, that's what really matters. So once you release what you've been holding on to in terms of the baggage, right? Remember that you are already and have always been enough, enough, enough. You're an open channel for the divine will. This is a state where guidance wants to remind you that you are already enough. You have everything that you need in your tool belt. And that actually leads us to the next card. You have everything that you need in your tool belt. What is the remedy? Okay, like what do I need to continue to cultivate this inner knowing, like strengthen my intuition, strengthen my confidence, strengthen my faith, and continue to give me the strength when I feel overwhelmed in the next choice and decision. And that is the Wheel of Fortune. In this particular deck, the Wheel of Fortune, we have a lot of heart energy, so that's playful energy. In the card itself, you see the sword, you see the coin, you see the wand, you see the chalice or the cup. And so this is representative, like, hey, she's playing with all her tools, everything she's learned along the way. When you remember how far you've brought yourself here, right? How far you've come, how far you've evolved. Like, think back like a year, 5 years ago, like when you first started your journey, like, how many investments have you made? How many bold moves? It doesn't matter if you follow through with all of them, right, or not, but like you recognize, you tested the waters and you saw what worked for you, what didn't. And that's the path of soul journey right now. It's like, okay, at this point now, as I step into empowerment and use this energy of assistance, like I have the opportunity with all my felt experience that I've gone through personally, with all the tools I've learned, and just giving thanks, to the mentors you've had and the guides you have shown and lit the way up for you, to teach you and impart their wisdom. Like, great. What if now I stepped in fully with that next decision, with everything that I know, and gave it my all? With this one here, it says, what do you need to support that knowing? This is also a card that says of divine timing. Destiny requires divine timing. You have all the tools that you need to create what you choose to desire and to experience for yourself. Not forgetting that action also is fueled by desire and the feminine energy and creativity. Go and use all the tools that you learned and have to create what it is you want. You have all the support that you need. And it's time to step up and summon what your heart desires to create. The key words with this card when it comes to the Wheel of Fortune, it is surprises, compassion, it is unforeseen events coming through. So it's this energy of just like a lot of Venus double expansion around your passions. Because this energy is so potent and the support is available for you right now. Tap into really voicing what it is that you want. The guidance was so strong of like, really believe, like take a moment to draw all the energy in, coming back to your higher self, calling back your higher self, and in that presence. And I pray, I want this for myself. Like boldly declare it, express it, allow it to come forth. And then in your meditation, think about, what does your heart desire? What do you really, truly care about? What is it do you truly want? You'll know the truth of your desire when you're willing to be open about what you truly want, right? Not what looks good on paper, like it doesn't matter what your vision is, what your desire and passion is. Allow it to come forward, just voice it, express it, allow yourself to speak to the angels, speak out loud to the available assistants already here for you. And then the help too comes forth is, give it all that you got. Give it your whole heart, give it your whole energy, go for it, and go for it big. Even if it looks like messy action, it doesn't have to look perfect. But the very fact that you can continue to rely onto this trust and advice from the previous card, when it came to the card of judgment and discernment, it's like, I can discern and I can remember that I brought myself here. And that alone should really empower you to like remember that you can trust yourself. And the final card, this one, I'm still working with, but I have the Two of Cups. So we have the sacral chakra, orange, again, coming back to emotions. And so the whole journey, when we started with the solar plexus and really looking at like where the obstruction of the energy was, like the emotions, like you making your decisions, which is based on choice from your mind, because you're worried about what other people are going to feel, what they're going to think about, as just a recap. And remembering that overwhelm just comes from self-doubt. But the moment you let go of all of that and you really allow yourself to trust into the funness, trust into intuition, trust in the adventurous spirit, is when you remember your empowered state, like you've led yourself here. And that you get this beautiful opportunity to go all in with everything that you've got, everything that you learned. You get to set the rules. When I want to say that, you want to get to set the rules for this paradigm. We're here to create a new world order, new world shift, new way of doing things, and that's especially like how you live your life, create the way you want to create your business, right? The way you want to spend your time, right? How a family looks like for you, etc. And particular roles that have been really outdated. You get to set the tone. You get to set that new layer and level of standard. And so how does that all fit in to the plan with the universe? Well, just know the desires. This is a Two of Cups. Know the desires that you have. With the number 2, it is, sacral chakra here, cups and emotions. And emotions are a powerful force, but they're more powerful when you really direct that energy with intention. So this whole entire reading was like, okay, where's your intention? Remember what your values you have and what they're important. What have you set the tone for yourself? At the end of the day, what is serving you? I mentioned this earlier, and what isn't? What is bringing you peace and what isn't? And when I looked into this again, number 2 represents a time of connection, as well as when we take a look at this, like when you're looking for the assistance of how to move forward, this is a card of intimate connections. Your desires are real. There's something that you wish for, and now that's here. Like, how are you seeing that you're pushing it away? Know that desire, like passion, going back to what's fueling you, if that desire is coming from a wounded space, even if the person or the thing that you're receiving comes in, it wouldn't help to, you know, have that desire expand and grow in a beautiful way, in a healed way, in a strong way. It would only cause it to open up more wounds. So trust that your spirit, the desire that started it all in your journey here, right? It's real. You can trust desire. You can trust the emotion that feels good. Coming back to emotion, okay, what doesn't feel good, right? That is what you want to work on, releasing, letting go, and then coming back to how you define what empowers you. Keep visualizing the emotional experience. Okay, so another key tip when it comes to the emotions, typically how your mind and how you're reacting, how you're viewing yourself, comes to the emotion that's present. So if you can kind of visualize yourself, and then whether it's a person, a place, a thing, decision, choice, what is the emotion around that? And then where are you in the middle of that? Like, so if you feel that this next decision that's coming up for you to do and make, but if you feel yourself as less than, the thoughts of not enough, the emotions of feeling insignificant and not yet being ready, that, like, how are you seeing yourself in relation to the blessings that are coming to you, the doors that are wanting to open for you? How can you change that paradigm and see it again? You're ready to move forward. And this energy here, just to know, like, where are you in trajectory in terms of your path and in the next stage of your life? Really, like, what would you do? Like, how would you feel? What would you do? Like, really, the question is, what would you do if you really, like, went all in and, like, believed that you could, right? Again, emotions of powerful energy. And whatever it is that you choose to direct your focus on, especially around with that force and that power, is what will continue to expand and grow. And so the overall, like, aid of support, like, be aware of those moments, whether again it's a person, place, thing, situation for you that's coming up. If it feels constrictive, if it feels like tight energetically, mentally, if it feels like it's taking too much of your energy, if it's too complicated. I started saying this today. If it's too complicated, it's not meant to me. Like, I'm not trying to, like, make my life a little bit more harder. Like, I'm looking for ease right now. So it feels light, it feels ease, feels fun, it feels playful. Like, lean towards that, move towards that. And that's how you'll end up clearing the energy. That's how you'll end up clearing up space so that you can continue to move forward. And so with this reading, this reading was meant for beautiful anyone really. If you came across this page, hey, great, welcome. This reading was meant for you, for those connecting to your intuition, walking your soul's path, your soul's journey here in this lifetime. And if we all, as light workers and star seeds, if you're just awakening on your journey here now, or you've been on your path for a while now, let me know how this resonated with you. I've been seeing that the messages that I give, guidance, when I feel definitely that big push to, share them with you, of course. And then I know it's beyond me, not just for me, right? People have been receiving it well. And especially like I've been most recently just highlighting like how for you to open up and add to your toolbox. You're reframing your reality, what the symbols, guidance, spirit animals, all that support mean for you. Like this is only just to add towards your own empowerment as your own self, divine authority and autonomy, right? And so you do with it what you may with the highest good intentions. And if you are looking to connect to your intuition, you want to learn the energetic tools and feel more confident, feel more anchored into your own presence, begin to really follow your soul's journey and path and expansion and activate your soul's gifts. I have Etherical, which is my 8-week program, starting officially July 21st. On July 21st, that is when we will go through the 8-week journey of holding the sacred container for ourselves. Like, what if we went all in? What if I really allowed myself to, invest even more into my own soul's growth and evolution? I really got to know myself. Like, what does it mean to be held accountable? Where, like, I allow myself to express myself however way it is that resonates. If you follow me from my Instagram, divinecosmic.empress, in that space, I'm always sharing about like the archetypes with the high priestess, the oracle, medicine woman, healer, star seed. Just like people freely choose identify with certain pronouns, you get to choose how you see yourself. We are here as modern mystics in this lifetime. We are activating and awakening our soul's gifts and our inner knowing through the clairs, right? And you've been on this path for a while. Well, the reason why you're waking up to this and why is your soul feel excited and resonant with this is because you're here to bring forth a new paradigm, a new world order. You're here to show a new way. And just by you being fuller expression of who you are and owning that, stepping in and really, getting the resources that you need to get yourself out of that space of lack and reality of control and disempowerment, you help to liberate others. And so you're meant for more, you're here for more. And so that journey begins on July 21st. I do have the program on early bird right now. Feel free to check out the description box below where I'll have all the links to my socials. And my DMs are always open so that you can always send me a message if you have a question. And again, as always, I thank you because all of this is just to be shared. We get to connect with each other and as soul family. Like, it is a beautiful thing to know that there's someone just like you who thinks just like you on that level of vibration and higher level of consciousness, and that you're here to do great things and great work. And so thank you so much for being here. And I pray you guys have a beautiful week and stay tuned because I'm also going to be dropping some other assistance for you energetically. And thank you. Sat down.